So I'm from a city called Victorville, California. It's about an hour and a half outside of Los Angeles, and that's pretty much where I was born and raised. There's not a whole lot to do there, so it never was like, I never really liked being there. I always wanted to go to LA or the beach because it was just more fun, you know?
Joel was a very happy kid. He, very easy to get along with. He had a lot of friends. A lot of people gravitated toward him because they liked the vibe that he gives out. Very friendly, very likable child. Some of the dreams that he had, right away he wanted to go to LA. First thing, as soon as he graduated from high school, he just wanted to go straight to college, go to LA, and just want to just move there, you know. And it's like, but there's a lot of things involved in that. And when I did take him, I drove down there one day and we took him to look at apartments or look and walk down the town. And I thought, oh my gosh, you know, the place wasn't very nice. There was a lot of homeless people out there. And I thought, I won't be able to sleep at night because I'll be worried about you every night, wondering, you know, what's going to happen. But yeah, it was hard.
Yeah, I feel like, so like when I was a kid, I always wanted to like be in the city because like that's where all the art was being made, and I felt like that's where greatness was being molded, and that's where it was around, and I wanted to be around the greatness, and I felt like where I was from, it was like less than, and I always felt like I was supposed to be around like greatness. So I felt like for that reason, I never really accepted where I was from, but now that I'm older, I realize like it don't matter.
So I think met Joel in 2010, but funny enough, I met him under not great circumstances because my best friend at the time was dating a girl that Joel had a crush on. So I actually was enemies with Joel for a little bit. The year after, I actually started talking to him, and I met him through one of our mutual friends, and we realized that we both had a passion for music. Joel was much further along than I was. And that was pretty much it. After that, we just made a bunch of songs together, and we dropped an EP originally, and that was actually the first set of music that both him and I dropped, and it's really cool to see him dropping this right now.
Yeah. Turn the beat up a little bit. It's the young prophet, now I'm about to spit the scrolls. Hey look, I open up my mind, yo, I open up my heart now. Can we take it back to the start? See, I'm just a young kid from the 760, blowing trees, spreading seeds, see that's all that we know. Chasing dreams ain't a thing if you think you psycho. I was cut from the team and came back like Michael.
Truly solidified in who I am and whoever I choose to be. I think we went too far, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I play it back?
Yeah, could you?
Stand with me and stand against, don't be on the fence. And if you with me, then you won't lose again. Now, stand with me and stand against, don't be on the fence. And if you with me, then you won't lose again.
Ooh, there it is.
That's good.
Eventually, I got to the point in my life where I was able to move out of my parents' house, and I had always wanted to live near the beach, so I was able to live near the beach. I got my own apartment. I was living on my own. I didn't have a roommate, nothing. My business was doing well. I was making pretty good income, and my business was growing. Like I was hiring people. I had people working for me. I wasn't having to work as much, or so I thought. But it came to a point where everything just kind of like went south, and my business started crashing fast. And I saw that it was coming. Like I could see it months out, you know, and I was trying to fix the problems within my business. I just couldn't do it in time. And so it got to the point where I was gonna have to move out, and I was gonna have to move back with my parents.
Well, I know things are hard now, and me and his dad as his parents, I mean, he'll always have a home. As long as we have a home, he has a home. So he never has to worry about, what am I gonna do, you know? My thing is if you lose everything, you can always regain it back. And as long as you have a supporting family, my thing is I'm not here to steal money, take money from him. If he comes in and has nothing, as long as we have a home, he's welcome to our home. It's his home forever.
For Joel, especially, it was tough because obviously going back to your hometown where you ideally didn't want to go back to, I know was a tough experience, and he had to ride that out. And a lot of it though is part of his story, right? It's where he came from, and even though he ended up having to return, it really again is a full circle moment, because he had to experience and relive and understand a lot of things that made him who he was today, and what helped him develop the project into what it is today. So it's a really overall very inspiring story, and it's really a foundational piece at the end of the day, because this is his debut project that talks about where he came from, but you get to see a lot of what he went through as well, leading up to where he is in life right now. So it's a really cool thing to see.
When I finally moved back to Victorville, I realized that like my whole life I was just kind of living to prove people wrong, really. Whether I was actually telling them back in the day like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and they're like, no, you can't. Or then they were telling me like, oh, you're doing it, and I was still doing it to be like, hey, like I told you so. And so when I moved back to Victorville, I had to come to terms with the fact that I can't live my life for other people. I have to just do what I feel in my heart, pursue that, and not worry about what people think about me.
So we can have it all. I tell my son that he can get it, whether big or small. You gotta shoot them shots, might miss a few, but you gon' ball. I never give up, never give in, even when the going gets rough. I tell him, can't look out, gotta go within. Take no breaks, keep pedaling. We don't stop, no settling. That's why we draped the medallions. Whole team's a battalion, battling, now we champions.
Some days the pain don't stop. I miss every shot. Gets to feeling pointless. I don't see.
Oh, really?
It's really funny because when Joel found out he was going to be a father, his first stop was actually my house, my mom's house. We were living up in the high desert at the time, and he stopped by, and I think he had a bag of like Del Taco or something. I can't remember what he had, and he just he let me know that he was going to be a dad, and the somber look on his face, and we went upstairs to my room and we hung out up there, and I just remember how upset he was, because he thought at the time that it just made him a part of the statistics, which looking back at it now is laughable, because he's a great father. But at the time he felt like he was at his lowest. But looking back at it now, putting all the pieces together and seeing how he is as a father now, and what his son has done for him, it just made him so much of a better person, a much more focused person. And I feel like he may have accomplished even more than he would have first set out to do if it wasn't for his son being in the picture.
Yeah, so when I was about 12, 13 years old, I would have these recurring dreams that I had a son. And in the dream, I was in the middle of the desert and I was walking down this path, and the sun was setting and the sun was shining on us. And what I realized when I found out that I was going to be a father was that it was my job to lead my son into the light. And if I kept living a life of darkness, I wasn't going to be able to do that, and I wouldn't be the person that God designed me to be, and I wouldn't be the father that I was meant to be. So I realized from that experience and from that recurring dream that I had all of my teenage years that I had to turn my life around.
I think that he's stepped up and shown, that he cares for his son and knows what's best for him. And I think we're proud of him. And, he didn't just run away and say, oh, that's not my child, I'm not gonna, no. He did what he needed to do, and that's to take care of your child and support him.
So we actually picked an Asian name. It's Tagalog, and the name is Bayani. It's actually pronounced Bayani, but we call him Bayani, and it means hero. And the reason why we named him Hero was because up until that point in my life, I was living a reckless lifestyle. I didn't have the best reputation. And so in a way, he saved my life, and he is my hero. And so that's why we named him Bayani. So how did you like coming out to nature today?
It was nice.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We should do that more often, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you could come with me.
I don't think so.
I think I just have multiple sides to myself.
I think, like for you, I think your thing is you think too much.
Yeah, because I'm always here.
And
for sure. Yeah.
so I think that the reason your personality seems to be inconsistent is because you are just thinking all the time.
Yeah.
It's like 1 minute, yeah, he's laughing 1 minute,
Yeah.
next minute he's thinking.
Yeah.
And you don't know what is he thinking. So that's a thing with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I'll be sitting there and then like I'll be talking and I'll just go into a trance.
Yeah,
and I'll
it's
just,
like he'll
look
just,
off. And like
Yeah.
I'm just like all these ideas.
yeah,
come in my-
that's how you did that last night actually.
Is it because maybe is that part of the artistic side
I
of you?
think so. Yeah, that's how I get my ideas. They just kind of like hit.
Joel he is an emotional person, but he doesn't really show his emotions a lot of times. And I think he had a hard time, and I feel like having his son really helped that come out to the surface and be able to see a different side of him that I feel like not a lot of people get to see if they're not as close with him. But I feel like because of that, he's become much more intuitive with people's emotions and his own. So it's been really beautiful to be able to witness that.
I forgot. Well,
Isn't your son on the cover?
yeah.
Do we want to show the cover?
Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah, my friend Chewy did it. Chewy's great, man. He like has the same like mindset as me. We're both from the high desert, and he's just an incredible photographer. Let me find it real quick. So this is the photo that we're gonna use. It just kind of has like a, I like his face there. He's kind of got like this little attitude. Kind of chill, just chilling in the desert. So that's basically like my inner child. That's like the childhood version of me. We actually look a lot alike, like from when I was a kid. So I feel like he was perfect for the cover. And I was always into sneakers, so he's got the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1s on there. So yeah, that's just that's kid me. Yeah, so I called the EP Desert Boy because I'm originally from the desert, and it was like me returning home. And it wasn't just me returning home, it was really me coming home, finding myself, me accepting where I'm from. And I feel that from that place, I can go out into the world a better version of myself. So yeah, you're gonna see me reflecting on the past and me kind of talking about what I'm going through right now and what I want to create in the future and where I'm headed.
Yeah. Look, I'm just trying to find solace. Some days I feel demolished, wishing I was sitting with or kissing on a goddess. Some days I'm like the preacher and some days I feel godless. Some days I'm like the teacher and some days I'm like the college dropout. Can figure out my route. We trying to live life well, but living in a drought. I'm just trying to excel, but sometimes I let doubt get the best of me, and that's when I let myself down. But I know now that I can do whatever that I want to do, and I could be whatever that I want to be. I got divine energy inside of me and creativity. Now